Hi, I'm Kat.
And I'm Gabe.
And we're
The Ghouls Next Door. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my gosh, guess what, guys?
We've been doing this for a long time.
A whole minute.
We've been doing this for 50 times.
50 is a large number. What
And
could this be?
And we've done it. And now this is it. We've done, okay, all done.
Bye forever, we're dead now.
Yeah, we're going to replace ourselves with robots.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm for this plan.
Yeah, that sounds better.
I bet you, if I was a robot, my lungs would work.
Yeah.
That would be great. Cannot wait.
Are you okay?
For fake lungs.
Yeah.
Oh, last breath is I love you. Give me robot lungs.
Well, today is part 1 of our 50th episode. We're doing a cheat. There's 2 50th episodes. Because there's 2 of us. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes 2, Gabe.
Yep.
That's my song.
That's good. I like it. Yeah, I mean, so for, our 10th and our 20th episode, we were talking about first fears. We talked about, like, our favorite things to talk about a little bit. Mm-hmm. But now we're really just like, this episode is about Kat.
About me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm convinced we're all going to die by robots.
Yes.
But it is coming. It is terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's just going to happen. I mean, it's fate.
Yeah, I guess.
We've been writing about it for a while. We're all like, oh, that's not how it's going to happen. It's like, no, it probably is, though.
It's inevitable.
Maybe you should have not done it. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Life finds a way.
Okay, that's about dinosaurs.
This isn't apply to robots. Dinosaurs. You don't know. Put Jeff Goldblum in it. It's fine.
But we're going to talk about robots. So you're the Death by Robots Tribble.
I sure is.
So clearly you have an interest.
An affinity, if you will.
Yes. For what is robot death.
I've just always been kind of obsessed with it, if we're being honest. I don't rightly know why. I want to say, like, it started when I was little, because we watched the Terminator 2 the other day.
Yeah. And
that was one of my favorite movies as a kid, which is really weird, because I was, like, 5 when I first saw it. And, yeah, I just have been obsessed with it ever since. And kind of like the topic in general.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I became obsessed with them as a little kid. And I think it was largely because, like, my dad was really into sci-fi. I was like, this will make you like me.
Oh, no.
Let's talk about robots, guys. But then I, like, actually really liked it. So it started at a sad point. And then I was like, wait, no, this is super cool.
Yeah.
This is fascinating and also terrifying, and that's how we're going to die. After I saw The Matrix, I was convinced, like, you had to, like, convince me otherwise kind of thing. I was like 7 or so. I don't know when it came out, but I was convinced that that's how we were. Like, I thought we were already there. Yeah. I was like, we're in that. I saw a cat once and I saw the same cat and we're in the Matrix, guys.
You're just going to wake up outside of it.
Yeah, nothing's real. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's probably better. Let's stay.
Yeah. Would you take the red pill?
No. I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally good.
We don't need to know.
Except, you know what's rude? If I was in the Matrix, I'd be like, I better be healthy. I'd be really mad. I'd be like, you're going to make me, like, in this fake world that's supposed to be better and nothing works? Yeah. What am I in the real world then? Broken more?
Yeah, you're just being siphoned for energy with your people juices.
My people juices?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want these. They're broken.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really super into robots growing up. I do remember that I didn't hate them. It just wasn't in my world. I'm just kidding. You're allowed to have opinions. We definitely had sci-fi, but it was more like stars, Star Trek, Star Wars.
I was like, stars? What do you mean?
So that kind of sci-fi of just like space time. But I do remember that when iRobot was available on the TV or a DVD, that it was watched at least like 15 times a week by my little brother. Yeah. So I know that movie.
Well, I guess the biggest thing is if robots develop sentience and like had feelings, do we like be like, all right, cool, you're like people now? Yeah. Or do we, like every single sci-fi book has indicated, treat them like terribly and then create our own little like hate group towards them?
Probably. I saw District 9 do that with robots. I saw Chappie. I
Yeah.
cry.
No, we're all really bad. So
Cry
like,
every
it's just
time.
like, are you on the railroad? Most people nah. So
Yeah, facts. We tell you all the facts. Yeah, facts. Still facts. About that spooky stuff. Yeah, spooky stuff.
We're talking about robots today for our 50th episode
Yeah.
to honor one of our ghouls, which is Kat.
there's one of two. We have Ghoul Scouts.
So you're one of them. You're
Yeah.
one of the ghouls,
yeah,
and you like robots.
I sure do.
So why don't you tell us about robots, Stud?
So I'm gonna tell you some facts about robots. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is like, what makes robots scary? Why are people like, oh my god, this is the worst thing?
Yeah.
And I get it, because I was looking at these awful robots on like YouTube and stuff, and they're genuinely terrifying, especially the one that walks on all four legs, like it's like a people dog. I don't know.
Like a dog, yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh no, this is some Horizon Zero Dawn level creepy.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, really scary, and I'm not about it, and I don't want to see a robot walking around like it's gonna be grazing in a field 50 years from now after it's murdered all of us. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. It's not.
Yeah.
No. So as people, we tend to, I always say this word wrong, anthropomorphize
Yeah.
objects. So essentially where we make things that aren't human have human
Yes.
characteristics. We project our emotions and feelings about things onto these squares
Yeah.
or boxes, and we're just like, that has feelings now.
Mm-hmm. Like
Let's
the brave little toaster.
Mm-hmm. Let's put eyes on this coffee mug and have emotions about it.
Yeah.
When it falls, we're like, no, cuppy.
Yeah.
It's like, that was ceramic.
Yeah.
It totally was fine.
Yeah. Well,
You're
that's
sad,
like,
yes. But that's on you. You projected all of your stuff onto this cup.
yeah. Well, that's like one of the four-legged robots where it's essentially its function is to open the door and to walk through it. And so it is determined to do that. And so they tested like how determined it gets. And so the guy like puts a stick in front of it and like it's pulling it back and pushing on the door and all this stuff. And I feel really sad. Like it's a robot. It doesn't care. It doesn't hear, but I'm just like, let it go. It's just trying to open the door, guy.
Well, because it has very, like, as you said, canine-like features. Mm-hmm. So,
It's
course
literally
you're
a
gonna
box with
sympathize
legs.
it. Yeah, but you're going to sympathize with it because it moves like a dog. And you don't want... It would be cruel.
Yeah.
If a person kicked a dog. If a person pulled a dog back from the door by its tail. Yeah, it'd be really rude. You'd be like, hey, be nice to the dog, please.
Yeah.
You go to jail for beating up dogs, maybe.
You should go to jail for beating up robots.
Well, that's the emotions that you start to feel, but technically the robot that in that test was very much likely not to have emotions. It's not
Yeah.
at that level yet. But the really creepy thing about robots is like, so it's funny, it's like that hot to crazy scale.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of hot to crazy, it's, I'm scared of this robot, I accept this robot.
Yeah.
So it's, how much does it look like a people?
Mm-hmm.
Or, how much does it look like a machine?
Yeah.
And then there's like this middle ground where people are okay with it. So when you're not in that realm, it's called the uncanny valley. So essentially similar to like clowns or dolls. The reason we're scared of these things is because they don't look human,
Yeah.
but they look kind of human.
And we know
look,
something's weird.
they look weird. They look like kind of like dead humans, or like you can't read what their emotions
Yeah.
are. So the biggest thing with that is you have this uncanny valley, which sits at one end of the axis.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit that, everything dives down into that. So the same place where your brain's like, zombies are scary, clowns are scary, dolls are scary, robots live in that land.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are all these tests done essentially where it was like a normal robot who looked like a machine.
Mm-hmm.
And humans were like totally cool with this machine type robot walking up to them and being like, oh, a machine. Look at me be a machine.
Yeah.
They let it get real close to them. But then there was one that like had fake human skin.
No.
Like it was wearing a human that it murdered.
Yeah.
On its face. And it was walking around. And they were like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
I don't trust that thing. That thing looks wrong. I'm
Yeah.
upset. That's the uncanny valley.
Yeah. Well,
So you're
that's
either
like,
yeah, it's cool. Or you're like, ooh, no, that's going to murder me.
mm-hmm. It's like Alita Battle Angel or Alita Battle Angel. Like her eyes are all big and stuff and people were making fun of it. But the real monsters of that film are the cyborg people that are essentially just full robot. And then they're just like, have like a pulled face skin on where their face should be. It like is just so
Is it
weird.
people's skin that they've ripped off of humans and put
No,
onto
it's just like
themselves?
they're cyborgs. So they have their people who are mostly robotic, but it's just the way that they chose to do that CGI. Like they just put a normal face and kind of stretched it a little so it would fit on a robot, and it's the worst. Like Alita having
can't be
big
scared of
eyes
those.
is totally fine, but those things are scary.
Yeah. But it's like this weird scale where you're like, you're either okay with it or you're like, no. And it also has to do with like the Turing test. Like, can't this thing pass for human?
Yeah.
You kind of don't want it to.
Yeah.
So, because if it passes for human, then you get Terminator 2. You get that entire plot where these robots are impersonating humans, just walking around murdering people. They're going around murdering people. And you're like, no, I would have known if it was a robot to be like, whoa, don't come here.
Yeah.
But that guy looks like a people. So, I'm going to let him into my compound, and he's going to murder my whole family.
Oh no.
And I wasn't ready.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, with the compassion thing, it just makes you really think about Chappie. Have you seen Chappie?
No.
Well, probably best.
I don't want to like the robots. I'm scared of them.
Honestly, I don't recommend Chappie for like anyone. It is just really heartbreaking. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I watched it one time all the way through, and then I tried to watch it a second time after having like blocked it from my memory, the degree in which it's upsetting, and I couldn't make it all the way through. I was just that depressed. Like it's just too much because he's like a child. Like the way that he's made is his intelligence starts young, and he's like being molded. So he's like a young kid almost, like who's just being manipulated by people, and because he's a robot, they like abuse him.
Yeah, no, that sounds real. I've never seen Chappie. It sounds way sadder than I thought it would have.
It's super sad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so if you want to sympathize with robots, if you want to see like the capacity to which you can feel for a robot, like to test like, oh, would I? Yeah, you will. If you watch Chappie and you're not sad, you might be a sociopath.
Well, I think that's also like the range where it's like, would you feel bad if a robot that looked like a human was like being treated poorly? It's like, it depends on how you see it. If you're like, if you naturally feel like empathy and you're like, I'm giving that human characteristics.
Yes.
I care about this thing.
Yes.
I don't know how it actually feels, but I've decided it has emotions. Then yeah, you're going to feel something.
Yeah. Well, Chappie definitely does because he's AI.
Well, yeah, but if you're like, I hate black people, you're probably in the same realm about robots.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Those people are
every time I
wrong.
watch like one of those robot movies where something's horrible, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's that one about the robots who are like junk robots? He's trying to get to like the big city so he doesn't get like scrapped. There's this whole robot movie. It was a kid's movie. It was like, I'm like made out of scraps.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to fit in with the regular robots.
Oh no.
And it was super emotional. I was like, I don't understand.
That's just like the Iron Giant.
Yeah,
That's
or
a good
Wall-E.
one. Yeah, Wall-E. Yeah, 100%. Or again, the brave little toaster. Just putting feelings and emotions on your kitchen appliances.
Yeah.
I've never felt so strongly for my kitchen appliances.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just really interesting too. It's just like, it's done so many different ways. You have it where it's like a cute little toaster, or it's like like it looks like a real person. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the robot doesn't know he's a robot.
Yeah, that's true.
As you see with the Terminator,
Was that Robin
4?
Williams?
That's different, but yes.
Yes.
That's not Terminator 4 Salvation.
Blade Runner, the one lady.
Yeah, but Terminator 4 Salvation, Sam Worthington character, he like doesn't know, spoilers,
Oh man.
doesn't know he's a robot the whole time.
Aw.
He thinks he's like a prison escapee.
He thinks he's a people.
But like at the end, it's like super upsetting. It's like, I didn't know.
Aw.
Yeah, and then like Cylons, same thing. Like they don't know they're
they don't
Cylons
know.
usually when they first start out.
Yeah.
But then like, once they realize, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That sucks.
I had a feeling something was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm different. But are you different?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing where it's like, that's where the real fear, I think, for my end comes from, where it's like people thinking they know everything.
Yeah.
I don't think robots are just going to go be evil.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate a machine's ability to learn
Yeah.
and the influences that are like being given to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I read this really great article, and it's, why are we so scared of robots? Why are we so scared of robots? 15 experts weigh in on what the real dangers are. And every single one of them makes great points.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read all of them.
Okay.
But basically the biggest things were that, like, they can develop their own language. Their ability to learn is just, like, so rapid and, like, unpredictable.
Yeah.
So people always go and they make a machine and they're like, I know what this thing's going to do. Probability, right? I'm going to figure all this out before I do it. It's totally going to go that way. It never goes that way. And they're stupid because they think that they know everything and they don't.
Yep. And then
So,
they
like-
let 4chan get to it.
Yeah. It's like wild. So like Facebook specifically created this robot that like would talk to another robot. So it created a robot that would talk to other robots.
Yeah. Oh,
Which is
that sounds like
Terminator
a bad
3
idea.
and just a super bad idea.
That sounds real bad.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, yeah, they're going to talk to each other. And then the robots made up their own language so that they could talk to each other.
And we wouldn't understand them.
The humans couldn't understand.
Shady.
That is the world is ending.
That's super scary.
They're like, we're going to end this now. And it's like, you don't know. They're probably still talking.
Yeah. They knew you were going to do that. They play chess. They are countering your moves.
Yeah, it's coming for us. It's just real. So it's like basically smart devices like having the ability to communicate with each other and us thinking we know what they're doing and we don't.
Yeah.
We don't understand it.
Yeah.
So we're stupid.
Essentially, like giving them even like the ability to infer and develop on it, like to learn. Essentially, like it's not just like you have this one function, do it. Like, what is my function? To serve butter, and then it's done. If it's like, okay, they've done that, and you've given them the ability to now like learn from that and to like adjust the way that they do it to like perfect the way that they're doing that. Like, of course there's a way that they're going to expand from there. Like they have the ability to learn. They're going to learn now.
Yeah, and like what's funny about that is that someone actually said it. It's like one of like the fifth or sixth one down.
Nice.
But essentially, that like we use them as like a convenience tool.
Oh yeah.
But they're gonna do it the most efficient way possible.
Yeah.
They don't have a conscience. They don't have like things stopping them.
Yep.
So if their goal is to get someone safely to their location, they'll reprogram the red light to change to green so that they more quickly get to that location. They don't understand other cars might still think it's okay to go and then murder people.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're going to try to do it the quickest, most efficient way.
Yeah.
They don't understand like rules exist and they'll change them and then like people are dead now.
Yeah. Or in iRobot, when he picks Will Smith instead of the little girl because he had a higher survivability rate.
Yeah.
It's like, because they don't look at a kid and think that's a kid, I should save it. They see, oh, she's got 30% and he's got 70.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have like emotion-based decisions. You have very calculated kind of like cold whatever. This is percentages.
Yep.
That's what I'm
Reduced to
going
the
with.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically, I'm not worried about smart AI. I'm worried about stupid AI. Toby Wolf said that. And it was basically that they're going to do the quickest and most efficient thing.
Yeah.
Not the right thing.
Yeah.
So if you're putting them in like law enforcement jobs or whatever, or like,
No RoboCop.
you're going to be killing a lot of people.
Or just thinking about like Amazon drones. Like all the jokes that were like essentially drones just like coming through your window because they're just like, I have your package. I don't understand what walls are. Here I
I don't know what walls
am. Take
are.
this.
This is for you.
Throwing it. Like, no.
Yeah. And that's a whole other thing that really freaks me out is the whole, you don't have to be there, you send robots to do your military work for you.
Yeah, okay, Wally.
Terrifying. You're sitting in there thinking you're playing video games, you just murdered a whole family.
Yeah.
That's like those drones that go to war for people. Those exist. That's real. That's a real thing that happens. Imagine if the Facebook robots talking to each other were to decided like, oh, we're from the U.S. Let's go attack Russia. They're not gonna be mad. They bomb everybody and then we're dead.
Yeah. Or
That's the Terminator 2 plot. Fun fact.
Oh.
They send the bombs to Russia and then they're like, oh right, well, everyone's dead. That's the whole thing. They blow up everybody and that's how all the humans die.
Having a robot army would come in handy if there was zombies. Because, like in World War Z, the zombies just keep coming because they don't understand that their numbers are going down. They don't have any emotions. Yeah. So if we fight them with more emotions, with more things that don't have emotions, then we could win.
That's definitely true.
So I'm just saying, silver lining. There you go.
Cool. Yeah.
Keep them. I don't know. Keep them on standby.
But it's also like the people making the robots develop the parameters with which they work.
Yeah.
So if you have biases towards things, those robots get those biases.
Yep.
So you get like, if you're racist and you're training this robot to recognize something,
yeah,
your robot's probably going to be kind of racist because the parameters that you gave it are within that realm. So they're going to carry those things. So if you're essentially making a RoboCop,
yep,
it's like how do you notice someone's doing something wrong? I'm racist.
Your humano cop is already the worst. Yeah. Like, just our human cops have, things to reference that are incredibly racist. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like those biases that already extremely exist would be easily transferable and probably worse because, like, they don't have any sort of conscience to stop them.
Yeah.
For robots doing it.
Yep.
So that's, like, easily transferable and terrifying.
Yeah. Counter to scary robots, what about a good robot that you feed it the thoughts and personality of a loved one that died? Like my favorite Black Mirror episode. And a podcast, I can't quite remember the name right now. Life After. There's a podcast called Life After, and then there's an episode of Black Mirror where in both instances there's like a software that is it's learning a person to replicate that person for someone who's grieving that person who died.
No, that's like the Turing test. It's not cool with me.
Yeah, and then you go to the level where you just make an entire replica where it looks like them and they live in your attic.
No. I'm not about it. No.
Because they're robots.
I mean, Ex Machina. Nah.
Yeah. I'm here.
I'm going to fall in love with that robot and it's going to stab me. Or leave me in a closet
though. But what
forever.
if it doesn't? What if it's Baymax and it's your healthcare companion?
I mean, I understand. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, was a pretty good robot dad.
He was a cool guy. He gave high fives. He was too slow.
He'd never leave. He'd always stay.
Yeah. Time for a weird mid-movie narration. We'll get to that. But
Stop it. I love it so much. It's
the best
absolutely. Movie of all time. I was so emotional when you ruined it.
Why else? What else about bots? Robots.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I just think it's like the human condition to think we know everything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be like, I'm gonna make this thing and not really think about it too much, and then that thing's murdering us now. Like we're just gonna go do stuff and not be smart about it, or even if we think we're being smart about it.
Yeah.
We're underestimating these things we're creating.
Oh, yeah.
They're creating languages so they can talk to each other without us included.
That's super shady.
They're all going to do that.
Yeah.
You can't predict what a machine's going to do. You can't. Like, there's no way.
But what if the machine was good intentioned? What if it had a nice robot creator dad or mom and it was a good guy?
I'm going to quote...
What if it had dreams and those dreams were with electric sheep in them?
I'm going to quote Jackie real quick. Jacqueline Constance, check out her music. She says to me all the time, it doesn't matter what your intention was, it matters what your impact was.
Okay, well, what if your robot's impact is that it saves children? Because it's a robot that does surgery with really tiny tools and it can just, like, do it real quick, like.
What if it cuts through the lungs? It's like, oh, the thing's behind it. You don't know. You don't know what it'll do, Gabe. You don't know. You don't make robots.
I'm just Team Robot over here, and I'm going to be in denial, and I'm going to believe that all the robots of the future are going to be Baymax, and I can't wait to have one, and I want to hug it.
I'm just saying, Sarah Connor, real quick.
Yeah.
The people who make things like the atom bomb think they know that it's going to be totally fine. Then the bad people get it, and everything's exploded.
I will argue that there was nothing good to come from the atom bomb. There's never a good intention that came from that.
Well, there are things that happened before it, though, that, like...
Yeah, nuclear energy, totally fine. It's just the step that went to... Let's make a bomb.
That's what I'm saying. It gets in the wrong hands. People who want to have power and take over stuff. The guy who made the top nuclear or whatever is probably like, all right, cool. And then they're like, nah, though, you got to make it this way. Have you ever played Metal Gear?
Now we are become death or something.
Have you ever played Metal Gear?
No.
Okay, so in Metal Gear, the guy makes something and then is kidnapped and forced to make like weapons and stuff like that because they said he's going to kill their whole family. So it's like sometimes you don't even want to make the bad stuff, but then you have this guy saying he's going to murder your wife and 5 kids so that you're going to make the bad stuff because you don't understand that the whole world might also die.
That's like Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that also you could be wrong.
Don't just make stuff to make stuff. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Just because you could doesn't mean you should, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's what robots is.
Yeah.
I would love to have bionic insides because nothing works. Mm-hmm. But I'm okay that that's not happening in my current state. Yeah. Because also then...
You can make a cool smart house that becomes your new
Smart
mom.
House is a scary movie where the house tries to murder its people.
It becomes your new mom.
Keep Summer safe.
Yes, exactly.
Keep Summer safe.
Not like be totally chill and stuff. That's you. That's what you sound like.
That's what I'm saying, though. And it's like, I didn't kill him. I just shot him in his kneecaps.
Or you could have a smart house, not like the movie Smart House, but like the Ray Bradbury story where it just reads you poems, and after you've died from a nuclear blast, it still reads you poems, and the little rat robots clean up your house and clean up the dog that dies in there. Yep.
Codsworth is robot husband.
Yes.
I love robot
metal husband.
Metal husband.
Yes.
I know Pam loves
metal husband.
That's
my one true aluminum love.
See, I definitely sympathize with it. I'm with it. But at the same time, those are worlds where those things already exist.
Yeah.
So you accept them because it's happened.
Yes.
I saw that weird robot dog walking through the woods, and I just thought Horizon Zero Dawn. We're like, we make these robots, we think it's going to be totally fine, but then we give it one function too many, and then there's millions of them, and we're all dead.
Yeah, well, Codsworth was cool.
Films. We watched some films. Now let's talk about those films. And all that spooky stuff. And all that spooky stuff.
We already talked about a bunch of robot stuff, but in a lot of robot like shows and stuff. But just keep it going.
Well, we're going to talk about my favorite movie of all time, which is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Yeah. I've watched it maybe at least 50 times.
I've watched it once.
The other day was your first time watching it?
Yes.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I said I never watched this before.
I'm mad at you now for making fun of it.
What? Because it was from old time and it was bad.
It's still great.
It had bad parts.
No, it's still great. It holds.
It's just chase scenes in cars.
No, there's so much emotional
80%
stuff.
80% of it.
There's so much emotional stuff.
The emotional
Sarah's
stuff
trying
is
to be
on
a
the
good
side.
mom. No, it's great. I disagree
and the majority
with you entirely.
is you're being chased by a big car. It's relentless.
Because there's a robot in it.
And we do the same 5 moves. Hold the wheel. We're going to shoot out the back of the window. Blah, 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 blah. Kids in trouble.
I'm going to train a robot. To think it's burping
we have
you.
random
then smack you
narration
till
in the
you're
middle
throwing
of
up
the film.
everywhere.
It's just so bizarre. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun ride. And I definitely can see where when you're a kid and you're watching that and for the reasons that you do like it, yeah, for sure.
I still like it. It's still my favorite
yeah,
movie.
I mean, people say it's great. But I didn't even have to rewatch the first one. So I watched that when I was little and I didn't remember it.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but we were watching and I said this like big stupid smile on my face. I was like, this scene's coming out.
Yeah, yes. Why don't you tell our listeners what it is?
So, Terminator 2 is a movie directed by James Cameron and written by James Cameron and William Wisher. Stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Edward Furlong, and more people.
Yes.
So, I had a big crush on John Connor growing up. He was my,
Jonathan
first,
Taylor Thomas.
My first, real human crush.
That's weird that you just specified that. I'm not gonna...
Well, no, because I would always
like
like cartoon
Be like
people. Because
Simba.
when you're a little kid, you watch cartoons a lot. So I was like, oh my god, the guy from Mulan is so hot. He was a cartoon. You can't like
a
him.
cartoon. You cannot.
Huh?
I agree with you. You're still weird.
It's still weird. Yeah, no, I'm with you. So it's weird. But then I watched this movie and I was like, oh, he's cute. He's a person. He's not a cartoon. This is a realistic crush that I have right now. How exciting.
Nice. You're
I
such
am
a weird
human.
kid.
I like human.
That was my cousin, but for Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
She made everyone watch that movie like a bajillion times because she liked Kevin.
Great.
Kids are weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's not why I love the movie. It's just a fun fact.
Yeah.
But also the guy from The Scary Place, the faculty. Robert Patrick?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he did the Terminator run in that, and he's doing it here originally.
Straight fingered, quick run.
Yeah. As a person who's watching this for the first time, and as someone who wears your media analysis glasses, as I do, I did find it very fun that you have this whole setup of just like last time, we're sending one good and one bad, and it's very clearly that they're trying to convince you that the nice, clean-shaven, white guy, really charming, beautiful features, in a police officer's uniform is a good guy. And he is 100% opposite of that. And then
Arnold's
our
walking
bad
around
guy.
I'm bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you are cool. You murdered people a bunch the last movie.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
And he's super nice.
Yeah, and he's in the biker place, and he's wearing a leather jacket.
No problemo.
Danny
Hasta la
Zuko in
vista,
it all over the
baby.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just definitely so weird. And then it's a switch, which I thought was really cool. I also think it's crazy that Arnold Schwarzenegger was a villain in the first movie, because that just seems so bizarre to me that he would ever do that to his image.
No, he was such a bad guy. And there was this one whole part of the movie where he just straight up doesn't have eyebrows, and it's hilarious. I was rewatching it because you were on your way home, and I was like, well, I'll just rewatch the first one. Why not? And no, there's a good 20-minute chunk where he just doesn't have eyebrows.
That's super weird.
He got in one of his 8 car crash wrecks. And all of his eyebrows burned off his face. So he's just walking around ooh,
yeah.
Baby face, no eyebrows, man.
Oh no, baby face. Arnold does not have baby face.
No.
Adult face, no eyebrows, man.
He was an adult face, no eyebrows, man. But he was walking around. It was real creepy.
Yeah. No one even knows what our baby face, no eyebrows, man references. But that was the birth of this podcast, and no one even knows.
Was.
Well, one day we'll talk about that. I guess it's our 50th episode.
So yeah, we gotta bring him back. We gotta talk about him for a second. So the baby face, no eyebrows, man. He gives cat food to Lady in Cage.
It's there was a Netflix movie, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. It was
something with
the
cameras.
girl in the photographs or something.
Yeah, the girl in the photographs. Oh, he's smart.
And it was a confusing description because it made it like the guy who takes photos is the villain, but he's not. He just knows the victims, and then he also died. It was very confusing, but the bad guy had a baby face and he had no eyebrows. And
so Arnold Schwarzenegger
was also that.
Baby man face, no eyebrows man.
Adult face, no eyebrows man.
In Terminator 1. In Terminator 2, he's best dad.
He's
Part 2, 2.0.
Yeah.
He's 2.0.
He's other best dad.
Other best dad. That's why he's 2.0. There's 1.0.
Yeah.
Other guy's 1.0.
Yeah.
He's best dad 2.0.
The guy who's a scientist who creates the whole thing is best dad, in my opinion, because he tried really hard. He was a good dad.
He was trying to fix it, too.
Yeah, and then he died the worst way, and it was so drawn out, and I was like so
one of the
depressed.
most emotional scenes.
Absolutely,
like you see
it's
the
not
breath.
fair.
It's like so stressful.
And he's like
every
shaking.
time you watch it, you should cry.
100%. That's when I was gonna cry. That's what I felt for.
If I hadn't seen it 50 times,
was
like
that
the
person.
first 25 times I watched it, I cried every single time during that scene. So I don't want you to think I'm heartless. I've just seen it too many times.
No, I totally get it. But to me, that was the most emotional part. The other stuff was like, yeah, whatever. And I get it. They're also important. But like him shaking and like I don't know how long I can hold this because he's trying to save those people. And it's like, your son doesn't know. Your son doesn't know any of that. And you're just not going to come home. And no one cares.
That's superhero setup.
Yeah. That's just how I feel. I think he should come back. His son should come back with a vengeance, make his own robot army. That's all he knows is that this one crazy white lady showed up and just shot up his house, tried to kill his dad, took his dad, then his dad ended up dead. Like, if you want robots to be made racist, that's how that happens.
Yeah, that's really real.
Like, that's how any vengeance happens.
I 100% agree with you that that's like the natural setup for that plot.
Yeah.
Why it has not happened, I don't know.
I don't know.
But
they missed it. Like, he's just out there and he's just killing a bunch of single moms with really awesome arms.
Single white female.
Oh no!
Murder single white female.
No!
Yeah. You don't know which one is which. They all have same bad haircut.
Leave Jennifer Jason Leigh alone. She's precious. She should be saved from everything. Just save her. Protect her at all costs. And Sarah Connor.
No, I love Sarah Connor. So, like, one reason I really love Sarah Connor, names, Sarah Connor, words, I'm saying it correctly, I've decided.
Yes.
So, is that, like, she was so, like, strong and buff, and she was, like, crazy, but, like, was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm vouching for people to have crazy ideas of what the future holds, but I was convinced.
Yeah.
That, like, someone was going to tell me the world was going to go some crazy way. And I would just be like, yeah, okay, cool. Where are we going? Let's join that cult. I'm for it.
She's just every doomsday prepper ever.
Yes. And I just, like, I've always just, like, loved that. But what I really loved her is, like, she's just so tough. But she's, like, still kind of, like, she does care about stuff. Like, she's very human.
Yeah, she also is severely suffering from PTSD.
Yeah. She's, like, very human. She's, like, got a lot of mental illness going on because of, like, all the trauma.
Very trauma, yeah. Very
and, like, but still, like, buff. She has her mission. She's taking care of her son. Mm-hmm. She'll do anything to save him and the rest of the world. Even though what she did was real messed up. And she stops herself.
Yes.
But she was like, I understand what I have to do. I know what my purpose is. I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. But then she's also, like, buff. She made Buff look hot. I really like that about Lady.
Cool, yeah.
Lady Buff. She had, like, muscly arms.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely a step up from her Children of the Corn days.
Yeah.
When she was just crying constantly and running after children that are part of a murder cult. So...
Well, it's, like, really interesting, too, to see her, like, transition from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Because in Terminator 1, she's just, like, this waitress who, like, doesn't have any kids. She's just kind of, like, living her life, like, not really sure where she's going, kind of aimless, like, feeling like she doesn't really have a purpose in her life. And then this murder robot shows up, and as well as this, like, not very attractive guy who says he's from the future... And that his son sent him to have sex with her?
Yeah. That's romance.
He never says that part.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. But it's implied. Because they extra do it.
It's like, why else would he be here?
They have this cute romantic scene where they're making TNT. Like homemade bombs.
Yeah. Dynamite.
And she's like, be careful with that. And they giggle and it was really cute. And then they have sex. You know, like... That happened.
Because there's an explosion.
I was like, that's my fantasy. Let's doomsday prep together. Tell me to be careful while I'm making homemade bombs. And we'll do it. It's great.
No.
That's what I thought love was, because I watched that at 5. But she's, like, all emotional, and, like, she doesn't really handle her stuff in the first movie as well. Like, she's She even says that. She's like, was I worth coming back for? Like, you see how scared I am. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, you imagine this, like, really great, strong woman that, like, you've been idolizing your whole life. And do I not live up to that?
Yeah.
And he creepily says, I've been in love with you my whole life. And then they have sex.
It's like, yeah, bruh, I just met you yesterday. That's weird.
Yeah, no, it's super weird. A lot of awful traumatic stuff happens to this
weird.
woman. She has sex with this man, now has a child. The man has told her that child will save the human race from a robot
super important
invasion. She gets arrested for trying to blow up a robot factory.
Yeah.
And gets taken to a mental hospital and away from her son.
Here's a question, though. If he saves the people from the robots, then why is this even a thing happening? Because he saved them.
Well, no, he saves them later. Like, way later. And the reason they're sending robots back to kill him is because they realize he's getting close to destroying them.
Okay.
So they want to take him out, so that's not even a thing. John Connor's best friend has sex with his mom so that he can exist in the future.
Yeah. Still.
And then he's growing up, and he's having a rough life because he's in foster care because his mom tried to blow up the robot factory.
Yeah.
But he learned how to do all these
Classic
cool stuff,
mom
like
shenanigans.
Get money out of ATMs with hacking and stealing cars and stuff.
He's so cool.
But yeah, I still stand by the fact that my favorite scene is the one where it's like, what's wrong with Wolfie?
Yeah.
Wolfie's fine, sweetie. Wolfie's just fine. Where are you?
Yeah.
Murdered stepdad or foster dad.
Yeah.
It's real badass.
Like, your foster parents are dead.
You can't just kill people. My voice is squeaky.
Yeah. That was very true. Yeah. So that was the movie we watched because it was down the memory lane.
No, it's because this is great. We watch it because it's
Also
great.
that. Also because of robots.
When he goes to the lava, you cry.
What?
Think about all the men that have left you.
You can't just...
He wouldn't have left you. He wouldn't have left you, Gabe.
And then they left his arm. Okay.
No,
we made such a big deal about the other arm, and he left another one.
He would do nothing.
Sloppiest
he would
robot.
stop at nothing to protect John.
He came up on that little rotary thing. It was so funny.
He would.
Oh my god! What a
he
time.
would never hit him. He would never yell at him.
Yeah.
He would.
He just murders people.
He would be there for him in ways that all her substitute fathers never were. Gabe.
The only reason those people... Again, okay. I had this conversation with Kat. The only reason why those other dads didn't work is because she was specifically picking broken men who are, like, talented in, like, murdering stuff. Like, if she picked a nice, solid dude to be a dad to her kid, because that's also fundamental in raising a kid who's going to save the human race. She totally neglected that and was just like, here's some military weapons training. And that's why he didn't have any reliable men sources.
You can be good at that stuff and be a nice guy, Gabe.
She picked all the wrong ones.
All I'm saying. He said one of them was nice.
Yeah, for like a minute. They didn't stay long enough to know if he wasn't.
Well, no, he was nice, and then she told him about the robot wars.
Yeah,
and then he was like,
because she's a crazy.
But she wasn't. She was right. Gabe,
but what if she was crazy, though?
Then that would suck.
If she was actually crazy, she is the worst mom, and she has severely messed up her kid. That's what you see in number 3, right? Is that, like, he's not the chosen one anymore, supposedly?
Well, because
so he's all messed up, yeah.
Well, no, but then, like, he still has to do stuff.
I know, but, like, technically, given what they were doing, like, let's just say you just work through her trauma and convinced her that we fixed it and that we've changed the history, then she's no longer manipulating her son to be this way. And now he feels like there's this big hole and that he's nothing to live for. He's just Harry Potter after the last of the books. Just being a teacher with dad bod with his wife he shouldn't have had. Just saying. So that's my rant, and I'm sorry.
Well, no, okay, so where I'm at with it is the following. So, you go your whole life, you've had these opinions, you're feeling stuff. You're like, all right, cool. I'm, like, real much, I got this purpose.
Yeah.
La da da. He even says in the second movie where he's like, I used to hate her.
Yeah.
Because she took away my childhood, and I thought it wasn't real. Like, I didn't believe her. I hated her, because I thought she was just crazy, and then, like, ruined my life.
Uh-huh.
And it was, like, a nice relief to know she wasn't crazy. She wasn't trying to ruin your life. And the rest of the world was bad.
Yeah, but what if that wasn't what happened?
But it is what happened. That's what the movie did.
It's just validating every crazy person out there.
No, it doesn't. She was right. She experienced something real.
Just because you're
a
paranoid.
robot killed the man she loved.
Yeah, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean that they're still not watching you.
I'm just saying, she was brutally attacked by Arnold Schwarzenegger without eyebrows.
Which is the worst thing that could ever happen.
No, it gets better. Then all of his skin melts off in one of those fire car crashes.
One of many.
So he's one of those robots that just walk around like skeleton-like with red eyes. And he is chasing her. And then he kills the love of her life that's now impregnated her, that said he was from the future. And like breaks her leg. And like tries to extra murder her. And then she gets out and no one believes her.
Yes.
She's super traumatized. But you know what? Then they save the robot arm and chip. And they're just like, yeah, she was crazy. We're not going to worry about the consequence. Where'd we get it? You don't ask. That's one of the lines in it. Where it's like, they arrest her essentially and like make her out to be this crazy person.
Yeah. Because I can believe that robots are here, but I'm not going to believe if someone from the future came here. Because that doesn't make any sense.
They were saying that the man wasn't a robot. That was the whole thing. That, like, they didn't believe her that he was a robot that was trying to like kill people.
Well, that's the government.
Yeah, so they lock her up and like make her think she's crazy, but she knows it's true because it is true, and they know it's true, but they're just rude. And then she has to like go raise her kid, and she's trying to like live out this prophecy after she's been super traumatized and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and then she gets arrested for trying to save the world.
That they're trying to keep the truth from you.
I'm just saying, it's a movie.
And then
it's a movie, Gabe. This isn't real.
And then they left another hand behind. They're all fired. I'm firing them. They killed the good dad, and they left an arm behind. Everyone's fired. They shot all those people in the leg. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That's why robots are scary, because they're going to take the most efficient route to incapacitate somebody, and then now everyone doesn't have knees, but they're not dead. So
no one has knees.
Cool.
No one has eyebrows. Arms are being left behind. No one has a father anymore. All right, no problemo. It's all good. All right, hasta la vista, baby.
That's is though. He could have stayed, like, do you see him melt in the fire pit? And you're like, just like every other man, and you cry.
I think maybe
I projected a lot of my childhood.
Yeah, I think maybe we should pause the podcast and we should start a therapy session right now.
Where it's like, everyone leaves like Arnold. He said he'd stay.
He didn't say he'd stay.
Mom said he'd stay.
Okay, well, she's not the most reliable source, okay? She just believes whatever anyone tells her. She tried to kill a family, okay? She's
right, though, not to kill the family.
She tried to kill
the family. I'm not saying it was right to kill the family.
She's wrong. She tried to kill good dad.
No, I'm not saying that was
right. In front of his children.
She acknowledged that it was wrong as it was happening. It was wrong. It was a real bad thing that she did. She was just in a crazy time. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was the worst thing she could have done. All I'm saying is she wasn't wrong that robots were going to happen.
That's not what is being argued here.
All right, well, I'm not understanding that. Because you're acting like she's just wrong. She's not wrong. The robots destroy all humans. It happens. The bombs go. They're trapped in the shelter. Even after they get rid of Skynet in the third movie that's pretty bad and no one should watch, they still happens. It still happens at the airport with the really overly sexualized Terminator in the red bodysuit just running around murdering people, and there's dog crates and there's cars and everyone's upset, and the robots are talking to each other in a language that humans don't understand, and it's happening. And then the robot drones attack everybody, and they're in this bomb shelter they had to fly to, and then Arnold gets crushed alive under this giant, like...
I thought he was already dead.
No, he comes back. That's his thing, he says. He says, I'll be back. And he does. He comes back every time. So he comes back again. He's like, John, look at me. I'm back. I'm your best dad. I never leave you like all the other men in your life. And he's here now, and he's like, where's your mom? And he's like, oh, she died. That was sad. And then he falls in love with this girl named Kate. And I was like, oh, that could have been me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in this movie. I knew it. I knew my whole life that this is my purpose that was going to happen. Is that one day John Connor will come to me and he'll be like, hey, Kate. And I'll be like, I'm going to go by that for right now. Because that's kind of a variety of my name. And he's going to be like, I was told that the prophecy said that you're supposed to be with me and we're supposed to save the humans from the robot people. And then I go do that with my nice husband with the floppy hair. And we go run away into the bunker that you fly to. And then Arnold dies again. And you're just like, why is my dad dead again? And then this is where we are.
Excellent.
His face always gets real messed up. Then you see one eye and then you see other half human.
Yeah.
So you got one red eye.
Because you're supposed to know.
And you're like,
I'm not human, look.
He's a robot. But there's this whole thing where it's like he's used to like invade the human people. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
It's my favorite thing, Gabe. I'm just saying.
Feelings. Yeah, feelings. Yeah, I said feelings. Let's talk about feelings. Okay. And all that spooky stuff. I love spooky stuff.
All right, so if you like it, it's bad. You gotta say it like that, or it's not. It doesn't count.
Bad.
No, you gotta sound all deep and Elvis-y. I don't know who sings it. Is it Elvis? Is it Elvis?
I don't know.
Who sings that
Beep,
song?
beep, boop, boop, bad.
You're fired.
Beep, 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 bad.
Oh, bad. I'm really good at that. I've decided, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. It's probably terrible. It's my favorite.
It's bad.
I almost bought a card that sang that to me.
For yourself?
No. I said it was gonna be for somebody else, but I think it was for myself. I just liked it.
Open this card.
I think it was like a Father's Day card, so it was also like sad.
But you're like, wow.
He didn't fall into the fire. I have him. He's here in this card. I love robots.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, what if we don't like it? Oh my God.
Wolfie's just fine, honey.
Okay.
Wolfie's just fine. Where are you?
I'm not saying the whole scene.
Why not? It's great.
I'm just worried about you. What is the dog's name? Max, why? What's wrong with Wolfie? All right.
He sounds really upset.
Your foster parents are dead. Click.
Excellent.
Milk drop.
Yep.
Transform aluminum. The end. There goes good.
Great
There goes
movie.
good. That was Game and Cat Theater for your ears.
Woo! Cigarette in chest. I feel nothing because
No,
I am
we're
robot.
not. We're doing all the scenes. Just car chase, car chase, car chase.
Not what it is.
Emotions.
Not what it
Car
is.
chase, car chase.
All
My
the
mom's
children's
crazy.
skin flew away in the wind like leaves.
What?
It's the scene of her
Listen,
dream.
Sarah Connor, you need to calm
Her
down.
dream of the
I
children
regret
when
this
the bombs
decision.
happened, and then the lights.
This is the last time I let you steer a conversation.
And then the children's skin flies
This
away
is the
like
last
leaves.
time in the history of the Ghouls where you're spearheading conversation. You crazy person.
This episode has been great, and you're rude.
Oh my God. All right. So, for the topic of robots, I'm going to say bad.
Good.
Mostly out of fear.
No.
Not of the robots.
Say
Of
what you want to say.
I like robots. Some of them are scary. Some of them, my heart.
Yeah.
Chappie. What's up, my F mothers?
What?
You can't swear, right? Because it's the stupid South African rappers. Die Antwoord. They're in it, and they're the ones who are teaching them. And he has mommy and I think he calls him daddy. But yeah, because he's like a baby.
word.
Anyway, we are very aware, as listeners and myself, of your father issues.
That's not why. I just think it's gross to want to have sex with your dad.
Chappie doesn't want to have sex with him. He's just an infant in a robot body. Calls him his daddy. Not everything is weird and sexual.
You can call someone your daddy if they're your actual father.
Weirdo.
It's gross when people do it about sex.
Oh my
That's why I don't
God.
like it.
Okay, well, I'm just saying I feel very strongly about Chappie, and I really love Baymax from Big Hero 6,
Yeah.
and Wally from Wally, and the Brave Little Toaster from the Brave Little Toaster, and the Iron Giant from the Iron Giant, and I'm just saying that I love them, and I can see how they could be good.
No, yeah, there's definitely a lot of robots that I'm like for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I love the topic, so
Yeah.
it's bad. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. It's my favorite
Robots
thing in the
are?
entire world. Oh my gosh. I find the whole thing fun. Yes, Gabe, robots.
Huh.
Like, I do think they're going to be the end of us, but also, I would definitely be a part of the railroad. If Valentine came up to me and was like, you want to go solve some crimes? I'd be like, yes. Why is everyone so mean to you, you wonderful human?
Yeah.
Because I'm not human. It's like, I don't care. I love you now.
You're human in the inside. That's all.
How do I marry you in this game? I will find a way.
Yeah. And I mean, later we will talk about the singularity and more on the inevitable robot apocalypse in our apocalypse series that's coming later this year.
Yeah.
So we're really going to get into how scary they are and like the likelihood of that.
It's just extra gonna happen. There's just no way it's not gonna happen.
And it's already happening.
And like we've predicted it a million different ways, and it's like, sure, it's not gonna happen the way we think it's gonna happen, but it's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
You
And
don't.
we're all going to be like, oh, well, what about the movie Terminator 2?
It's the best thing that's ever been made ever in the history of life, obviously.
You like it?
I will watch it 80 more times. When I find out someone hasn't watched it, I'm like, oh my god, when are we watching it together? Come here.
Yeah.
It's the second time, Gabe,
Yeah.
that you've done this to me, where you haven't seen my favorite thing.
Sixth Sense.
Second time.
Well, you haven't seen some of my favorite things. I'm just saying. We both live two different lives in which we experience different types of media and traumas and life and love and laughter and all of it. It was all different.
There's
we're
some
different
similarities,
people.
Gabe.
Sure, but do you do know that we are two different people?
No. We're one.
No?
It's my episode. Heartache to heartache we stand. No promises or demands. Love is a battlefield. I love you.
Well, this episode's over now.
No.
You've exhausted your options.
This is the age of cat.
It is.
Come to me, John.
No, that would
I
mean.
want robot dad.
No, that means that the robot apocalypse is coming.
You can probably
big
live.
jerk.
Let's go to the bunker.
No.
It's fine, yes.
Do it for your country. Yeah. So this is the first part of our 50th. So if you enjoy listening to Kat talk about stuff, you can tune in when it's my turn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We should
It's
definitely
gonna
talk
be
about
something.
robots again when I'm less passionate.
Oh, absolutely. We will. Robots are definitely going to come up. There's different aspects
I
to
did
robots.
lots of science research.
And we had a good time. This is for fun because it's our 50th episode and we didn't feel like doing that much work.
Yay, we're 50. The next series is our midlife crisis.
That's it now. What?
Let's buy a convertible,
after-
Gabe. Have street races 5 times till we lose our eyebrows. The 7th time it's too many because our skin is gone.
All right, well, don't get married to your kids. Don't get married because then your kid is the savior. Your kid is the future robot Jesus. And
It would be such a good mom to future robot Jesus.
no, you wouldn't, because you couldn't get Sarah Connor's arms. You'd break.
I want to say, don't tell me I can't have Sarah Connor's arms. I'm gonna fitness.
Okay.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. You'll see me next week and I got bucks.
But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks. I like talking to you. That's cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye.